I'm Joe Netherworld, and I'm here with your Daily Tarot card reading for September 11th, 2013, or 10, 11, 13. I'm a little bit number obsessed this month, and they kind of keep on coming up in odd combinations. But with that said, I'm going to pull 3 cards. That's another number. They'll appear on the screen, as always, in front of me over here. You can see what they're, nice big close-up of what the cards are that I'm reading. And there's one main card and 2 signifier cards that, kind of empower the one main card. So let's just get started. It's going to be an interesting day, as always. And this is a nice card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's a 9 of Cups. And he's been here recently, and I think he's a great September card. Well, the size is a 9 for September. It's also about the harvest and kind of like finding bounty in your own home. And September is a great month to kind of sit back and look at all the great things you have and even if it's little things. It doesn't have to be great and, monstrously bountiful. It's about just accepting that things are good. If they're good for you, they're good enough. They don't have to be good for other people. They have to be good for you. So that's what we have here as our first card up, the 9 of Cups. And our main card is the King of Cups. And he is about ruling how the money is made, how the whole world is made. It's about the guy who gives. It's if you're in the position of being the King of Cups, it makes you and there's a sort of all-seeing quality to his hat, his eyes all over it. He sees opportunity, he sees how money is made, he sees how life is worked out, and it's a great card that represents someone who can give you great information, someone that's watched how everything's done and has filled his cup with life. And because he's filled his cup, he can tell you how to fill your cup. So we have bounty, we have the King of Bounty, and cups, and the giving and receiving of gifts and intelligence and opportunity. And fulfilling on the other side is the 9 of Swords, which is kind of a miserable card. The 9 of Swords represents having problems over your head, having a lot of problems over your head, having 9 problems over your head to be specific, and kind of covering your eyes. It's sorrowful. It's about not seeing things. So if you balance this out back to back, you have 9 of Cups and 9 of Swords, almost the opposite end of the spectrum as far as meanings go in the tarot deck. And at the end here, you have someone who can kind of give you either. So what this really means for today is that you're going to take what you know and opt more for what you want and appreciating what you have, as opposed to focusing on the problems you might have had. Don't let your problems become you. Don't let your problems, define you. They're there. You kind of closed your eyes to them and hope they've gone away. At the same time, the opportunity to have all 9 things be great things is there as well. So it's about perspective. It's about maybe asking someone to help you get rid of these problems, even asking yourself very poignantly to go, why am I keeping these things here? Why don't I just open my eyes, look around at these problems, give them a name, give them a deadline as to when they have to go, and make them go away. We're talking about, September 11th, and people have this ongoing, sorrow with the date, and that makes sense, but we can't just dwell on what has happened. It's been a while, not that it makes it any less, sting any less sharp, but, we have to see what you do have. So today, in a lot of ways, we can look at this world and look at ourselves and look at this week and look at this month, but what we actually have, how bountiful we are today, what we do have, what we've lost, what we're willing to lose again to keep what we have. So take that all into consideration, but really look at what you have, and are you happy with what you have? And don't worry about, is the world happy for you, or do you have enough that you think you should have more because there's just a rule about that? Really take the day, roll it back a little bit, be a little introspective and go, I have enough. I'm very happy with all the things I have. And maybe your cups aren't overflowing yet, but you could fill each one a little bit more, but you can't fill them with problems. You have to let some things go. And dwelling on these problems and not fixing them does not make them any better. So, release the sorrow of the day. Don't dwell in the negativity of it. It's not going to change it. Negativity does not change with more negativity or with just thinking about it. It only changes with positive actions. So make today about positive actions. Make today about remembrance, but not being haunted by remembrance. Remembrance should fuel you to move forward and remind you what you've learned, not trap you with what has happened. So we'll take that for today. and for the month. And with that, I'll see you here around midnight, as always, with a fresh reading for the next day. And I hope you make the most of today and have a magical day. Make the most of it, and I'll see you again tomorrow.